Delighted to welcome Jose Andres, who does not need an introduction, but in the spirit of being redundant, twice Time Magazine most influential 100 people, medal by President Obama for his humanitarian efforts, at the iconic Think Food Group, as well as his World Central Kitchen. Now, if that is not change, then it's very difficult to define change. So Jose, given that our topic is how do you revolutionize change within yourself, share with us a little bit about what was your inflection point? How did you come about to make so much change happen? That's a tough question, but in your words.
Listen, Rohini, I mean, thank you for having me on this gathering of influential women, and having this honest conversation about what are we missing in our communities, in society, in the workforce, to give women probably the level field to be part of a community and a society that they rightfully are part of. I always say, by watching my mother, she was a nurse, sometimes she worked in 2 jobs, and sometimes I remember that I realized my mom was not working in 1 or 2 jobs. She was the one working 24/7. About what change, if any, I've done. Quite frankly, I look myself at the mirror and I can tell you all the things I didn't do well yet, or all the things I get more credit than the credit I deserve. But one thing I know is I have a lot of enthusiasm. And Winston Churchill said that success was measured in going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. But let me tell you one thing is so important. I always say that we are only as good as the people we have around us. And I've been having an unbelievable support all my life. My mom, which not necessarily, maybe that's a relationship many of us share, mother and daughters or mother and sons. My relationship with my mother was never the easy one. I'm not going to get into details. My mom was a wonderful woman that gave her best out every single day of her life to her family and to others. But that didn't take away from me loving her and knowing that I am who I am thanks to many of the traits I have of being persistent is because my mother, I know, gave them to me and showed them to me. My mom studied to be a nurse, pregnant of my 4th brother. Believe me, taking care of 3, going through school to become a nurse, not because she had nothing else to do, but because a new salary was necessary in the house. This showed me the hard work and ethics and commitment to make whatever it had to be done to keep the family moving. We were a working class family. It's not like we were hungry or anything. I live a very good life, but my family needed that. And my mom showed me that strength.
Our philosophy is a lot of change comes from ownership. And the inspiration is for women to get to levels of scale and ownership and to grow their businesses. That's the whole purpose of Let's Talk Women. And we find that if you look at our industry as a mirror on society, it's not lack of entrepreneurial spirit. There's 40% of restaurants are owned by women, but they tend to be incredibly underfinanced, small scale, and on the fringe. I mean, just look at mega restaurateur groups. If you were to look at them, very few are owned by women, if at all. I love the points you raised about persistence, enthusiasm, not taking a no. And a lot of that seems to be bred in you through your childhood, invaluable lessons, right? So we can change society with one generation if we raise our daughters well to be fierce and to take on challenges. But what is it that you think the men in our industry can do to also make the playing field level, the way you phrased it?
And we need to start thinking out of the box. I always say that flat organizations will help make decision-making more participative. So this will allow more participation, if you want, of women, because if it seems many of the positions at the top levels, that's a matter if it's a big organization, even you mentioned that big percentage of women own their own businesses. It seems it's a male-driven society. From big organizations to smaller, it's always men at the top. If we could keep creating pyramidal structures, there'll be always a man at the top no matter what. It still is okay. Somebody has to be the boss. But if you make flatter organizations, you will make a more diverse opportunity for everybody to be more participative in the decisions that can be made in the shaping of a small or big company. A big part will be access. We can talk about access to capital. I know the SBA is trying to do a big push in different administrations. This needs to be bipartisan because there are women on both sides of the equation, in the Republican side and in the Democrat side. So let's make access to capital easier, access to credit easier, access to relief as well, which has been an issue during this pandemic. We can be, all of us, putting gentle but nice pressure on financial institutions to do that, to make sure government agencies have a much more focus on women that, I repeat, they are the ones that carry more than one job, even if they don't want it. Because even if they don't want it, they take their responsibility, and that should be rewarded. What you did at the James Beard Foundation's first time you and I met, when you were precisely thinking ahead and thinking forward, let's make sure we mentor young women to, from the very beginning, they have a very good preparation so they can start at the level playing field with any other men out there. So women take care of their children forever on behalf of all men and all of society. And therefore, anything we do to lessen the burden, to almost bring it down to zero and facilitate the possibility of every woman to reach its maximum potential, and where raising the family is not what brings them down of trying to reach its maximum potential, that will go a long way. So again, it's very direct issues that we can be talking, but in my restaurant, maybe can always do more. I don't remember exactly, but we have very good, many good weeks of maternity leave that is part of everybody coming to work, etc., etc., etc. Facilitating woman life in the family and in the business, and not making it a burden, but making it an opportunity, I do believe is what every business, small or big, but also supported by the federal government, is what we can be doing to achieve a more equal opportunity for every citizen of planet Earth, woman and men.
Jose, we could go on. A lot of this rests on the government, right? Childcare support, all of that. So that is at the policy level. And it's very vital, no question. Is there anything the successful male restaurateurs in our industry can do to change the equation, almost as a model for other sectors?
Obviously, we all have a chance. Listen, I'm a dad. I have 3 daughters. Mm-hmm. My wife went to university. I never did. For me, it was an amazing thing to see my first daughter graduating from business school. This was huge. She's working now in New York. I cannot believe I have a 23-year-old that she grows so quickly and so fast. And now she is working in a startup and she's thriving and she's loving it. And my 2 other daughters have so far fairly clear ideas of what and they want to do. So I know families obviously are a very good starting point to put a young woman in the right path. In my case, it's not so much me who is the inspiration, but in my family, who is the rock, is really my wife, who is the one that moves my 3 daughters forward. And I used to try to learn how to be a grown up. Imagine trying to learn how to be a dad. I'm still learning how to be a good dad. But the end begins everywhere. I always say that we are all as good as the people we have around us. I do believe it's very, very, very important that we all share with others, in this case, with women, the things we know, and that we allow ourselves to say, we are here to help you, we are here to empower you, we are here to share with you what you may need in your early years of formation. But I think women like you too, and that's what you are doing, it's very important that we are all putting ourselves out there precisely, not only thinking at 10,000 feet above ground, but with boots on the ground, making sure that if your success is the success of others, let's make sure that every other woman around you has the same chance of success as you do. But again, I'm not putting the burden on women. I'm saying this is a job that all of us, we need to be doing more to, again, equal down. If we can level down the playing field, this is a very big achievement. But I know that takes more than words to make it happen.
Deeply grateful for your time.
Let's talk change and let's talk woman. Thank you for your leadership on behalf of all of us.